Before I show you the run, I'll just go through the risks so you know what we are running. We skip increasing enemy health, we want them as fragile as possible. They can have all the attack they want, I don't care. Our operators have 50% reduced health and attack, that's all fine. Most of these risks buff the wood tornado. This changes where the tornado is on the map. You can either have it in the top position or on the right. We want it on the right. This makes the bugs do a bunch of damage. I don't know why, I don't care. It's 23 points. Then this is the reduced DP, minus 75% DP generation as usual, and we ban all defenders and guards, because anything in melee will die in one hit anyway, so why would I need them? This summons extra enemies. You have the spinny things that charges the bows from chapter 14, and obviously you have the bows from chapter 14. They have extra health, damage, defense, range, all the usual shit. Oh, we can just take everything here, you see why. It's basically a bunch of free risk. And these are the only enemies that really pose any real risk so far in this event. The big demon things. So I don't remember what each individual risk did, but basically it gives them a bunch of health. Some of them spawn at the start, or rather you have extra spawns at the start. They weigh more, they gain damage reduction when they're on fire, stuff like that, an extra attack. Here you choose whether you want range tile ban or melee tile ban, and usually you have to pick and you can just take both. I went with melee tiles because I mostly use range tiles for obvious reasons. This is the squad size, 7 operators, 10 operators, 7 deployment limit, 5 deployment limit. We're going with 5, which 4 stars basically always do. And then this is to only have 1 life, which we're obviously gonna skip. Next we have the chalices, the things that absorbs damage for other enemies. You can have 1 or 2 of them, or 0. We have both of them. They have extra health, why not? And this buffs the ghosts, makes them a bit tankier, I think. No, it's extra attack speed for the ghost things. And this is extra health and defense for the wraiths that move the tornado. Now I would really like to take this. Extra attack on the shields really doesn't matter, even if it's 200%. But I have to take health first, and I can't really afford... How much extra health is it? Yeah, plus 350% health. We're gonna have to skip that one, unfortunately. And finally our operators have increased their deployment time. I think 675 might be possible if we remove one of the chalices and try with this thing instead, which makes the ghosts even tankier. But the RNG is already kinda high, so at least for now I'm not gonna bother with it. Okay, that's the risk we're taking, and let me show you what a meme this map is. Funny thing to start with, since the demons take 2 block, Myrtle is safe right under them. This isn't just funny, this is the only safe spot for Myrtle. The basic enemies will just one-shot her, so we can't have them in the path, and anywhere else she'll either die to the poison on the ground or get one-shot by the orbs on the right, who have enough range to hit the tiles right of May, which you'll see in a bit. May kills all the enemies, you know, all 2 of them. That's 50% of the enemies we actually kill ourselves already dead. I'm 100% serious. So you might notice that the tornado ate all the debuffs on the ground and became pretty big. The risks also buffs its damage a bunch, so it's kind of gonna start melting things. But that's not all. The demon daycare over there, once it's set on fire, it does an AoE damage aura around it. But the aura isn't picky, it damages both friendlies and enemy units. You can see the demons losing health, but they're also killing all the basic enemies coming from over there. Meteor is there just to kill the chalice, which with minus 50% attack will take approximately 75,000 years. And what can you do about it? The spinners charge head first. They're now basically wraiths, moves very fast, have a bunch of health, very dangerous. Luckily there's 2 giant orbs that just absorb all the spinners, so they just don't matter. And all the basic enemies keep dying. If the Chalice isn't here, the defender will die with 0 input. But since the Chalice is protecting the defender and eating damage from him, he needs a little bit of help. If you wait until 2 ticks happen on the defender outside of the Chalice range and then block, you can wait until the 3rd tick happens from the storm and retreat the operator before they even get hit. So it doesn't even have to be a Gravo, you can do this with Yato or anything. 3 hits from our spirit to control where the Wraith dies. Since it's moving the storm, we want to make sure it goes on the correct spot. And even with minus 75% DP, we end up with 99 DP. Which is why we're waiting around now. We don't want to waste DP by retreating Scavenger early, so first we deploy Myrtle. DP is basically an irrelevant resource for 99% of the map, but we'll need a bunch of it near the end, so it's best to save up now. Another defender, same thing. A push from Gravel, but this time we also bait one of the lasers from the orbs. The final spinner wave has 6 spinners in total, so you want to make sure the orbs aren't charged. And Verdant gets to do a thing. Be hit once, eat a giant laser and retreat. Thank you, Verdant. That's actually kinda helpful there, since he can actually eat 2 hits no matter how high the enemy damage is. I would have preferred to save Indigo's skill, but I'm actually using it for the defenders, because I don't want to spend blockers on them. Unfortunately she missed the bind, so we had to use Gravel, but it's a minor DP loss. As long as I'm not forced to use Rope to block both of them at once, I'm usually fine there. And now, on to the 2 actual enemies left. The Chalice and the final demon who's all alone. No other demon to AoE him down for us, so we have to kill this one ourselves. The storm is going to do most of the work, since we basically do 0 damage to it. But Haze is there to give us a bit of extra damage. Because when we start binding him with Ethan, he would stay out of the storm range, and if we don't have Haze there, we're kind of just wasting our crowd control by not doing any damage. So much for Ethan. Ideally, if we get a really good rotation, we can get 2 Ethan skills out of it, which makes it infinitely easier to stall the demon, but we didn't get that lucky. For the ghost guy on the right, 1 block, and the attack animation wasting his time is all it takes. The storm will finish him off. We're waiting until the AoE of the demon stops covering Earth Spirit style. That happens roughly when the shadow reaches the tile to the right of the demon. And all that's left now is to finish off the Chalice and hopefully stall this guy for long enough. Ethan's not going to come back. We realistically don't have enough stall for that. With Mei it may have been possible, but we need to get rid of her so we can block. The best blockers we have are Verdant and Roberta. They can both actually take a hit without spending the DP. With anyone else, if I want the demon to do his full attack animation when he does a hit, I need the operator to actually get hit. Because if you let the enemies finish their attack, they'll stay in place for a bit longer than if you retreat the operator right before they finish the attack. Because one cancels the animation, the other doesn't. It's not always a big difference, it depends on the enemy. Contreo did her best, and now Meteor gets to finish the cup at the bottom, but it's still wasting a deployment slot, so we're stuck with 3 operators DPSing and bodies being thrown. We can't let Roberta die to the storm, because we need a bit more DP to drop Rope. And finally Rope can just die here. We have nothing else to deploy, so there's no reason to save the DP. We're waiting for the demon to go a bit deeper in the tile, which lines up with Haze's skill pretty well. And then we push it back for the final few haste shots after the bind ends. No need for 1 XP anymore, there is nothing else to do.
Mission accomplished.
Pretty fun map, but once you understand how much damage the tornado does, it kind of becomes a meme. Not sure I'll play it anymore, but if I get in the mood I'll try the 675 strat.